and he sets forth 306 recommendations for how the town, the province, and our partners can improve how we govern, how we operate, and how we transact business. Specifically, the report covers themes concerning strengthening the professionalism and the independence of the civil service, improving procurement processes, and advancing the identification and management of conflicts of interest through enhanced training for council and for staff. These themes are important for the town of Collingwood and ones that we have begun to implement and intend to reinforce as we move forward. In fact, we appreciate that the Judicial Inquiry adopted specific recommendations along these themes that the town made in its submissions to the Judicial Inquiry. I would emphasize that the Judicial Inquiry has provided recommendations that will be of use to other levels of government and public agencies. For example, the report calls for the province of Ontario to make several changes to the Municipal Act to improve accountability and transparency, and to the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act to broaden its scope and applicability. The town, the province, and our other partners all have a role to play in effective management of public resources, and I look forward to their reaction to this report. There are some people who are concerned about the costs of the Judicial Inquiry. And while it is more than we were advised at the outset, we should remind ourselves how we got to striking the Judicial Inquiry. The Council of the Day had many questions about the 2012 sale, the participants, the process, and the proceeds. Unfortunately, the answer to these simple questions were not being provided despite our best efforts. Justice Morocco's words reflect the deep frustration that I and other members of Council, along with our staff, felt when we were not getting the answers to the questions and were being kept in the dark. As Justice Morocco noted in his findings, Council had to take the step of requesting the Judicial Inquiry to compel information to be produced to answer the many outstanding questions and begin to restore public trust in our community. As many of you know, judicial inquiries are widely used in Ontario and throughout Canada because they have the power to subpoena records and compel witnesses to testify. I believe categorically that the Judicial Inquiry has provided value for our community. We gained access to information that had been kept from the public. We have a better system of governance that we will continue to improve upon. We have greater transparency in how the town's business is conducted, and we have a clear path forward for better stewardship. Today, we finally have the answers, and with those answers, we have dispelled the clouds of rumor and innuendo that have hung over our community for too long. We can now take up the mantle to improve the town in meaningful and effective ways and rebuild our trust with the community. Looking to our immediate next steps, the report will require careful review by Council and by staff as we discuss the recommendations and adopt them into how the town operates now and into the future. Thank you. That concludes my comments, and I would be happy to take your questions.
Thank you very much. As I mentioned earlier, we'll be receiving questions in the order in which we receive requests. If you'd like to ask a question, please use the raise your hand feature, and a staff member will mute you when it's your turn. We ask that the member of the media introduce themselves before they ask their question. You have one question and a follow-up if you wish. After that, we'll proceed with the next media contact. If you have any further questions, you may use the raise your hand feature again, and we'll put you back in the queue. Thank you very much, and we'll start with our first speaker.
Okay, it's Ian Adams from the Collingwood Connection. Among the I guess there was the unspoken recommendations, I guess, Brian, about obviously there's some things for the municipality to follow up on, and they've already followed up on, but I just wonder whether Council will be discussing going further with perhaps some civil, or is that going to be a discussion about finding some civil responsibility in all of this among some of these players?
Hi, Ian, and thank you for that question. This is a lengthy report over four volumes and about 800 pages. And so council will be working with staff and our legal advisors to go over the findings and explore any opportunities for other remedies that could arise from the findings of Justice Morocco.
Are you, oh, sorry, my dogs are going a little nuts. Are you disappointed at all that there were no findings of misconduct in that report?
Well, I think their findings are quite dramatic. Whether or not they use the actual word of misconduct, there's no doubt that Justice Morocco found that there were many failures in the systems that were in place, but also failures by specific individuals in key positions. And so I think the report speaks, is very direct, and does not hold any punches in making findings about individuals' conduct and how it so negatively impacted our community. So I'm quite confident that this report is going to serve our purpose moving forward.
I just have one more question, and then I'll let the microphone go there. Among the recommendations to the province are amendments to the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. It looked like we've been down that road before with Justice Cunningham's report. Do you see a role for the municipality at all in lobbying the province to finally take steps to make amendments to the MCIA?
Well, I think the fact that this is the second time around the horn on this particular, on some of these recommendations, certainly I think this council and our staff will work with other levels of government to make sure that recommendations are given serious consideration. And I think that what you've seen in some of these recommendations is a real rethink about how the municipal sector works, with mandatory training, codes of conduct for staff, and as well as for potential lobbyists and bidders. So we're looking at trying to balance the procurement system and looking at how we do business within that legislative framework. So certainly we will be in discussions with other levels of government about that.
Mayor Brian, do you have the latest figure or final figure as to the cost of the hearing and this whole process?
Hi, Catherine. And I think that question, Kate McGran answered that question. We're at about 7.1 million right now. And that's the latest figure that I have. But I think people have to understand how we wound up in where we are. This is two transactions that are a snapshot of how we did business at Town Hall in 2012. And in order to get proper answers to questions, as Justice Morocco said in his report many times, council of the day was in a position where they had to strike this judicial inquiry to get those answers. And I think that the answers we have received from Justice Morocco are very compelling and very important. And this is a significant report for our community. It's a significant investment for our community. I think our community deserves to have full faith in the structural integrity of Town Hall and our governance model. And just as we invest money in keeping our roads safe and building infrastructure in the community, this was making sure this money was invested to make sure that how we do business at Town Hall it keeps pace with the expectations of our community.
Thank you.
As a reminder to each of our media members, if you could please state your name and the media organization which you work for the benefit of our viewing public. Thank you very much.
Hi, Mayor Saunderson. It's Erica from Collingwood Today.
Hi, Erica.
My question is about the final recommendation, which is for council to report to the public a year from now on the recommendations. How do you see that going? It seems unique to me for council to prepare a report for the public as opposed to maybe the typical staff report.
Well, I think it's an excellent recommendation, first of all, and I think we've seen in our community as we've been doing business since we struck the community-based strategic plan of 2015. Council has made a habit of reporting back annually on our progress on the community-based strategic plan, and this just follows along that same line of accountability. There are numerous recommendations that are directed at the province, but there are many more that are directed at the town. So I think council will be working very hard with staff and with our legal advisors to look at how we implement those recommendations. And there are many. There are over 240, I think, that relate to the town. So coming back in a year and giving the town a status update on how we're progressing on implementing these recommendations and an update about how we will be implementing them moving forward, I think is entirely consistent with the spirit of this report and the intention of this council.
And specifically the recommendations relating to the role of mayor. I know there was some town one, some municipal act one. What are your thoughts on the recommendation to change the description of mayor from CPO, like to remove that description from the municipal act?
I think it's an excellent recommendation, and I agree with it wholeheartedly. The mayor is a first among equals in Ontario, and we have no ability, as does no member of council, has the ability to instruct staff unilaterally. And so I think reinforcing that message, making sure that the mayor is in their lane, that the deputy mayor is in his or her lane, and that all of council are in their lanes is, I think, a critical recommendation. And we have seen through Justice Morocco's findings that there were a number of members of the council of the day who were not in their lane and who were distorting the process and leading to a subpar result for our community.
And do you see the council going forward with a bylaw? I think you recommended a bylaw to better describe the role of mayor and council specific to Collingwood.
Well, I certainly know that's the recommendation, and we will be working with staff. I think, as I indicated before, there's 306 recommendations, over 240 of them which impact town hall business. And so we will be working with staff and our legal advisors to get a better understanding of how best to implement these recommendations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, Mr. Mayor. It's Siobhan Morris from CTV Barrie. Justice Morocco talks about this need to rebuild trust now that this report is complete. So in your mind, how do you go about doing that?
Oh, thank you for that question, Siobhan. It's a good one. I think we have been starting that process in Collingwood since 2015 with the community-based strategic plan. We have changed many of our processes at Town Hall. Public engagement is very much a priority. I think we have worked very hard at Town Hall about being outward looking and not insular. And this plays in and is consistent with that messaging. Rebuilding trust is not something that you do with a single action or overnight. It's a long process. And I have said throughout my time in office, both as deputy mayor and mayor, that municipal politics is a municipal dialogue between council, staff, and the public. And our citizens and their opinions are extremely important. And so we have changed our website to have an engaged platform that we can push out questionnaires and get feedback from the public. All our committee meetings have opportunity for public input on staff reports and input that the public can come and speak on any issue that relates to that standing committee. So we're working very hard on that, I think, in the last 4 years, and we have more work to do. And so rebuilding trust is absolutely a critical piece of the puzzle, and one that we will embrace here at Town Hall.
And I know you're talking about the cost of this inquiry as being a worthwhile investment, but I think a lot of people will bristle at the number, especially for a community the size of Collingwood. So how do you reassure those people? And is there anything that's, slipped or anything that Collingwood's not going to be able to do because of the money that's been put into this process?
Well, the cost of the inquiry was always a concern from day one. We did not want to spend $1 on looking into town processes, but we had no alternative. So we were either going to find the answers or we were not. And I think as Justice Morocco noted in his report, The decision to pursue the answers has obviously shown that there was genuine cause for concern and that there were problems at Town Hall. So cost in the, I guess, grand scheme of things, while always a concern, to me, this was a necessary investment, and that we are committing at Town Hall and this council to working to make sure that that investment is capitalized on in every way possible by implementing these recommendations and working with other levels of government to see that they implement them. So it was a big investment, but I believe it was a necessary investment. And as I said, when you need to invest millions of dollars in your roads or other infrastructure, we do those projects. And this was a very necessary project, and we will embrace this report and move forward with it. It really belongs to the people of Collingwood.
Looks like I get another shot. It's Ian again from the Connection. Earlier, you talked a bit about the cloud. 2 or 3 weeks back, I had confirmation from the OPP that their investigation is, I guess, still very much active and ongoing. And I don't know whether there's a role or a place for the municipality to perhaps encourage the OPP to try and, I guess, conclude their inquiries.
Well, certainly we knew from the outset, and as Justice Morocco said today, the Judicial Inquiry serves a very specific role under the Municipal Act, and we don't have, it doesn't make any criminal findings and doesn't have the ability to influence an OPP investigation. What I would say is that we at Town Hall support the OPP and will cooperate with them in any way necessary to further their investigation.
If there are any further questions, we ask that a member of the press raise their hand. It doesn't appear that there are any further questions, Your Worship.
Well, thanks, Chris, and thank you very much to the press. We've got a lot of reading to do and some heavy lifting ahead of us, so thank you very much for joining us.
For the South Georgian Bay area. Tonight we will have variable cloudiness with isolated flurries. Winds northwest 30 kilometers per hour. Low -1 to -4. For Sunday, a mix of sun and cloud, isolated flurries in the morning. Winds northwest 30 kilometers per hour, high near 5 and a low near -2. For Monday, expect a mix of sun and cloud, high near 6 and a low -2. Looking to Tuesday, a mix of sun and cloud, windy and warmer, high 12, low 3. The probability of precipitation is 30% for tonight, 30% on Sunday, and 0 on Monday. Looks like warmer temperatures are on the way for the middle of the week. In sports, the Owen Sound Platers are rebuilding their team after last year's successful season. Veteran players are working with the rookies to build a contending team. Marcia Ramage from the OHL this week has this report.
Last season, the Owen Sound Platers went all the way to the conference final, but with the graduation of a number of key players such as Dan Snyder and Adam Mayer, this year's veterans are facing some new challenges.
I think they left some pretty big shoes to fill, and I don't think any one guy on our team could do what they did for us last year. So we kind of take a team approach to it. Our third and fourth year guys trying to to stick together and help the younger guys come along so we could have a good team.
And veteran defenseman Mike Domkowitz has definitely committed himself this year.
I finally decided I wanted to be a hockey player, and this is what I wanted to try to do for the rest of my life. So, I hit the gym pretty hard twice a day, and I really worked on my diet and got in the best shape of my life. So, at the end of the summer, I had a chance to stay with the Sabres for 2 weeks, and it was just a great experience for me, and it really makes me want to be a pro hockey player.
The Platers are also looking for plenty of ice time from right winger Joel Ward. This season he attended the Atlanta Thrashers training camp.
Oh, it was a great experience. I learned a lot from the older guys. There's a lot of key players out there, Buchberger, Damian Rhodes and so on. So it taught me a lot, on and off ice and what they do to mental and preparation and physical preparation, what they do. So, I learned a lot, I built a lot of confidence going there. So coming back here and hopefully things will work out.
Back for the second season with the Owen Sound Platers is centerman Brian Kazarian. Kazarian opened this season as the OHL's Player of the Week, scoring a goal along with 8 assists for a total of 9 points. He currently leads the Platers in points.
Well, Brian's probably our most improved hockey player. Last year he ended up the season in Junior B and worked extremely hard in the offseason. Has come back to camp almost 15 pounds heavier than where he left and much, much stronger. So he's got off to a great start. He's been in the scoring, top 10 of the scoring early on and is our scoring leader at this moment. And he's one that can kill penalties and has played well on the power play.
Among the new faces this season for the Owen Sound Platers are first and second round draft centermen Greg Jacina and Daniel Siska. I spoke with head coach Dave Siciliano about what he expects from these players.
Well, Greg's our first-round draft choice and a player that we expect to play on a regular basis. We felt we needed some strength down the center and some help immediately, and Greg has proven thus far to be everything we expected from him.
I think they expect me to bring obviously some scoring power and offensive ability and maybe some leadership roles down the road.
Well, Danny's our second-round draft choice, and right now he's played the fourth line mostly, but he's exceptionally talented in respect to good offensive vision. He can see the ice extremely well, find his people, make the good passes, and once he learns to play a little bit better defensively, he'll have no problem, finding a niche in this league. He is one that will be one of the top scorers in the OHL over the next few years.
For the OHL this week, I'm Marcia Ramage reporting for the Owen Sound Platers.
Thanks, Marcia. The Owen Sound Platers are in action tonight at the Harry Lumley Bayshore Center. Mark Perry previews the game.
The Owen Sound Platers host the Windsor Spitfires in OHL hockey action at the Lumley Bayshore tonight. The Platers have been in a slump lately and hope to get back on the winning track. They sport a 4-2 home record, losing last Saturday's home game to the high-flying Brampton Battalion by a score of 4-1. Windsor comes in second place in the West Division and are playing some good hockey this year. They are no longer the rough and tumble team that featured Jeff Kugel last year, but have developed a good skating team which is challenging for first in the West.
They have gone with a whole different philosophy that versus last year's, I guess, tough-minded hockey club, where they're a very good skating team that moves the puck extremely well. And most teams that have played against them, from the reports I've had, have had good flow to the game and probably a tremendous exhibition of skill, both offensively and defensively. So it's a type of game I think that we would enjoy, and the fans will certainly enjoy. Their strength seems to be with this one player that's come back from college that's anchored their top line with 2 rookies new to the league. And those 3 players have got the majority of their goals, both on the power play and 5-on-5. So they've off to a good start. We're going to be tested quite nicely, but after a win Friday night, I think we'll be a lot higher than we were last weekend.
This will be great OHL hockey action at the Harry Lumley Bayshore Community Center in Owen Sound tonight, as the Owen Sound Platers and the Windsor Spitfires face off. Game time, 7:30 p.m. at the Lum. In Owen Sound, I'm Mark Perry for Plugged In.
That's it for the show tonight. Thanks for joining us here on Plugged In. I'm Kathleen Hewitt for Rogers Television. Good night and have a great weekend.
Tom Smith Chevrolet Oldsmobile is proud to sponsor Plugged In. At Tom Smith Chevrolet Oldsmobile, we want you to have the best. Whether you're kicking tires, taking a test drive, or choosing the right payment options, Our customers are our #1 priority. Our commitment is to you. Our knowledgeable sales staff can guide you. Come in and see why life is better in the country. Tom Smith Country, King Street, Midland. Call 526-0193.
The Ontario Day Tripper, your guide to the highways and byways of Ontario. Inside our pages, you'll find a fantastic collection of crafts, antiques, country inns, and bed and breakfasts, cafes and tea rooms, and unique festivals, fairs, services, and events, all conveniently listed by towns. Ask for your free copy today at your favorite store, or visit us online at OntarioDayTripper.com. Proudly sponsoring Plugged In Tuesday to Saturday at 6:30.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
Okay, so what's the emergency?
Mondays, we're famous! Corner Gas Animated is here.
Isn't it awesome?
With all new episodes. Ow! Featuring special guests, including Lance Storm and Bret the Hitman Hart.
I promised the judge I wouldn't body slam any more old ladies.
Corner Gas Animated, all new, Mondays on CTV Comedy Channel.
I joined because I wanted to help others.
To be a part of something bigger.
To show my kids what's important.
I joined to make my community stronger.
To make a difference in someone's life.
To acknowledge that our freedoms come at a cost.
I joined to honor my mom.
My grandpa.
My neighbor.
Everyone who served.
Who are serving still.
I joined.
I joined.
I joined the Legion.
Hey guys, it's Jadon of Off the Hook, and today we're going to be doing something a little different. We're here at Smoker's Corner, as you can see, and sometimes when you're out there enjoying some time fishing, you want to come back and enjoy a meal as well. So with Smoker's Corner today, we got our special guest, Daryl from Amici's Restaurant and Pizzeria in Meaford, Ontario, and he's going to help us out today with smoking a nice big cut of brisket from Higginson's farm. And yeah, I'd like you guys to come over and enjoy and see how Smoker's Corner goes. So Daryl, what is it that we're doing today on Smoker's Corner?
We're smoking this amazing brisket from Higginson's farm. Young local couple, absolutely amazing beef. Got the Traeger out, got our pellets on, got it rolling. We're ready to start smoking.
Looking forward to it. So what's the first step that we're gonna do here to get this kicking off?
So before we started rolling today, we got the brisket out of its backpack bag. It comes from Higginson's farm. Rinsed off anything that was in the bag, rinsed off all the stuff, got rid of it, wrapped it back up just to keep it safe. So now we're gonna unwrap it, check it, see if we need to trim it at all.
All right.
And then we're gonna season it up, get it smoking.
Awesome, sounds great. Let's get this started.
All right, so just unwrapping it here, checking it out. Higginson Farm, they get it trimmed down nicely for you ahead of time. So looking at this, we really don't need to do too much to it.
So there's not too much fatty stuff in there. We're looking good on that.
Sometimes you get a full packer brisket. This is all of huge layer fat over here, and it's just got to trim it down. Nice amount of fat on this one. I think we're ready to just season it up.
Okay, nice.
So here we're just putting a nice layer of our seasoning on it. It is kosher salt, black pepper, and that is it. Keeping it nice and simple. We're doing it Texas style today.
Nice. So you just, how much roughly would you put on? Just keep getting to cover the top of it, or?
Just trying to get it nice and even. No bare spots like over here. There's nothing on it, so
Just give it some love over there and some attention too. Okay, nice.
And it's a pretty big, thick piece of meat, so it's really hard.
So we're almost working with 7 pounds of brisket here, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I got a nice layer there.
Flip
the
her
other
over.
side going.
Okay.
Same thing over here. On these thinner parts over here, make sure you go a little bit easier.
Right.
Because, that'll be a salty bite.
Yeah, you don't want them biting into a huge piece of salt.
But this thicker section, go a little heavier.
Okay. And that's just going to soak it all in, make it all nice and...
Because when you're slicing into it, you're going to have nice seasoning on both sides.
Okay.
Make sure you get this, the end, all covered. Let's give it a check out. Let's give it a little bit more. Never too much seasoning,
Never too much, right?
Never too much seasoning. There. Ready to go.
Okay, so then after this is all seasoned up, what are we doing next? We're gonna get it ready to toss on the smoker,
toss it on. So, with brisket, there's 2 schools of thinking. I guess 3 technically. Fat side up, fat side down, and we're using a Traeger, so it really doesn't matter.
Really doesn't matter because it's take care of it. Now on the other side, you were speaking about the burnt ends.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So do you want to run over a little bit of that
Go
with
back
us?
to this side?
Yeah.
So this piece right here sticks up, so it's going to get more heat, more smoke. It's going to get more of everything, so it's going to dry out, get a little crispy.
Okay.
And so you get your corners, and this piece, when it's all cooked up, burnt ends.
Burnt ends. All right, and that's another piece you can just enjoy.
My favorite cut, like to trim off these crispy pieces, and that by itself in a bowl.
And you're good to go. Awesome. So we're gonna get her ready and I guess toss her on the smoker, or is that how that's how we're looking? Let's get her going. Smoker's corner.
Let's do it. Nice and center. So on a Traeger, hot box is right in, hot box is right in the middle.
Okay.
Try to get the thickest part over that, and then I put the thicker part of the beef to the back, the thinner parts to the door.
Okay.
Because this air gap will be a little bit cooler at the front than at the back.
All right. So then that way you're saving more of the heat's going to cook in the core part of it, and then this way here it's still going to cook out, but
cooler, not that much of a difference because we're using a Traeger.
Okay.
It's going to be a little bit cooler.
Awesome.
We're good to go.
All right, so we'll close her up, and we're going to head out on the head out there on the boat there and do some fishing out on off the hook. And how long are we going to leave this in the actual Traeger, though?
It's going to be about 7-hour total time, but 3.5-ish hours. We're probably going to get a stall. Probably going to hit about 160, 165, and it's going to slow down the cooking process.
Okay, so we're out here right now, 9 o'clock in the morning. So you're saying roughly around
about noon. We're going to have to wrap it up with some foil.
Okay.
Or parchment paper, butcher wrap, whatever you have.
All right.
We're using aluminum foil today.
Yep.
I don't really find a big difference. We're going to wrap it up, and that just helps keep the moisture in for the last 3 hours of cooking.
Awesome. So while we're out there on the boat, we're going to come back in for a little break, and then I guess we're going to wrap her up, keep her nice and ready to go, and then head back out on the water after. So yeah, that's awesome. Can't wait to see you guys again in a couple hours. And again, Smoker's Corner, Daryl from Amici's, he's going to be joining us back a little bit later on in the afternoon, and we're going to let this bad boy smoke. And again, thank you to Higginson's Farm for giving us this nice fresh chunk of brisket to take care of the belly. There we go. You got a nice little small milk. Ooh, nice. Pretty quick and simple. Nice little smallie to start it off.
Sometimes, for a wish to come true, it takes a kingdom, because together we're stronger. Tied tight, united we stand, in honor of one child's wish, to fuel the fire that will grant many more. Join the kingdom.
It was really fun working with them, especially with when it comes to the studio tour, because it lets you meet the artists again and again. I hate to say nature inspires me, because every artist has it, but it is the grasses, the flowers, the trees, mostly rocks as well. So I use grasses over and over again. Every once in a while, somebody wants to have something special. They bring me their own flowers. For me, the glaze has to be perfect, and I like I said, a lot of depth in it. And that's it. All done.
Hey guys, it's Jadon off the hook, and today we're going to be trying out the Meaford Dam, right up Trout Hollow Trail again, just off the 7th line if you're coming down south. And we're going to see if we can pull any smallmouth bass or maybe some trout that have made their way up the river and see how it goes. We got another beautiful day. As you can see, it doesn't get any better than this. And let's see if we can bring in some smallmouth bass. Let's try it out. All right. Make sure we don't have too much of it hanging off the edge there, just so it's nice and lively. And let's get her in the water. Minus the tangle. Give it the dip. And then I'm just gonna drop it in the deepest spot that I can see. I don't wanna throw it right into the rapids because I know I'm gonna get caught up in all the rocks at the bottom of it. So if I throw it literally just at the mouth of it, give it a little pull in, and something should hopefully grab that right off the drop. Because someone's gotta be resting in here. Get my shadow out of the way there so I'm not spooking them. Here, fishy, fishy, fishy. You can see all the little minnows swimming around it too. Try one out here a little. I like to just throw it in a couple different spots just to kind of get everyone excited where they are. You never know where they're hiding, right? So it doesn't hurt to try out the darker spots that you can see. Obviously, some of the best time to go fishing for bass, for smallmouth or anything at that, is between your 6 o'clock in the morning until you're about 8:30, 9 o'clock. And then again in the late afternoon, probably around 5:30, 6 o'clock again, until you can go right on until 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock and that. But during the day, I'm sure if fish could drink some coffee, that's what they'd be doing right now. Enjoying a coffee and their morning paper. There we go. Oh, there we go. There we go. We got a nice little smallmouth. Ooh, he fast. Pretty quick and simple. Nice little smallie to start it off. I should have left him in there just a little bit to see where his friends are hiding out. But again, nice, quick, simple stuff. Nice little smallmouth bass. He's not massive right now, but the reason why we let him go back in is to let him get bigger. So another fish we'll see soon down the road on Off the Hook. It's good though, because as we're sitting here enjoying some fishing, the brisket's back on Smoker's Corner, just getting in all those flavors and all those juices nice and ready, so can't complain. If I go back and it's all eaten, then I don't know. Wait for me. And all I'm doing too, if you see when I'm just pulling it like that, again, basically I'm just relocating it. I'm just giving it a little more life, a little more jump. I'm just giving it a nice little pull. And sometimes when you're pulling like that, you'll feel a hit or you'll get a fish on. So just so it's not just still in one space at all times. Oh, ho, ho, you tried. We'll let it sink down. And if you get a moment like that too, where you're reeling it in and you see the flash of the fish's tail going at it, let it just drop right back down, give it a couple more seconds to rest, and you might just catch that lucky fish. So the best thing to, every year when you start the season off, it's always good, get new line, let it soak in some water, loosen it up, and then strap on some new line. If you start noticing that your line's looking a lot chewed up or frayed or anything like that, or it's spun too much, then you want to kind of change it up. It's kind of, it's overstayed its welcome, I guess.
Can you soak, like you just take the reel and soak it in water?
Yeah, you can soak the whole line, or this part here comes off, the top part. You can screw this off and take the actual spool out, and you can let that soak in, or just take your spool of line before putting it on, soak it in some nice warm water, and just let it sit.
that do?
It just makes it nice and softer, I guess, like not as spun and tense and everything, right? Because mostly when you take off, if you're looking at your line when you first put it on without soaking it, and you put it on and you go to cast out and it's like, and it rat nests everywhere, then it's because it's too tight. Like the line's very tight in its position. You soak it, then at least that way it's loosening it up a little bit more. Just giving you a little bit, you know, it's more to work with, I guess. Something my stepdad showed me and I've done ever since I was a kid. I don't know if he explained the best way to do it, as I'm probably not explaining the best way to do it, but take your line, stick it in some water, soak it for a little bit, and you're gonna have less tangles. Yeah, so basically I'm just taking the full end, or the full part of the worm, taking the thinnest end, not the thick end there, just a nice thin end. What you're gonna do is give it 2 pokes there, just like that. Break her off, and then I'm just gonna use this little guy here. Whoops, I'm gonna use that part right there. Drop that into the water around the shoreline there and see if you can catch a nice little minnow, a little shiner, something like that. And then we're gonna hook the shiner on and we're gonna toss that out there and try to see if we can get some smallmouth bass with that. So yeah, we'll try over here just by the, just like this, and it's just basically letting it dip down. And we're just looking to catch little minnows. We don't want little bass minnows because we want the little smallmouths to grow. But we want little, like I said, little shiners, little chubs, anything like that. Oh, so that's a little bass. So we're gonna let him go back in as quick as possible too. Boom, in he goes, let him go back. We don't wanna disturb the smallmouth minnows because the goal is obviously to let them get bigger. But if you do happen to catch one, which you're going to, just simply unpop it as quick as you can, get them back up. So here we have we got a nice little shiner minnow here. So we're gonna take this minnow, we're just gonna pull the line right through. So like that, nice little piercing there. We're gonna take our line now, and we're just gonna tie 1 knot, just one simple one, because after when we're done with him, we wanna be able to let him back in if he doesn't get any hits. You want the hook to hang just about by his belly, like that, and now you've created your own natural lure. So we're gonna let him back in the water so that we're not causing him any more stress. He's gonna relax down in there. There's actually a whole bunch of them down there, so I got a whole live pool of bait there if I need it. And we're gonna come back over here. And again, we're basically just gonna take them and we're gonna do the same thing. Oh, and we're gonna toss them out there. And we're gonna let the fish be a fish and hope for a nice big smallmouth bass. So basically whenever I'm using minnows that I've caught out of the river or wherever I'm fishing, I like to give them maybe about 5 casts. After that, take them off, let them go back in, try another one. If he gets a couple hits and he ends up getting beat up a little bit, but he's still got some life in him, throw him back out there and give him a chance to kind of recover. So again, down there, the sinkers have basically dropped to the bottom. The split shots have dropped to the bottom. The line is up and that minnow is swimming within the length between the hook and the split shot. So he only has so much room that he can actually go from there. And yeah. And you can see he's still got a lot of life to him. So that's what you want to do. Whenever you're using any live bait, it's always good to be respectful to the bait that you're using as well. And just make sure, you know, he's nice and lively, he's good to go. He looks like something that I would eat if I'm a fish. So we're gonna get him back out there. I'd pretty much eat anything, so we'll let him back out there and let him do what he does naturally. So that's cast number 3 for this guy. We're gonna give him 2 more. I'm gonna put him once right in here nicely. See, I'm throwing him up in here, but I know he's gonna end up down in here. So I'm just giving him that chance to kind of go with the flow. Literally. Oh, there we go, see? So I can see my line right now is kind of pulling out. I don't want to get too excited, but I'm gonna give it a couple seconds, let anything grab it. I was so focused on the noise. Godzilla. So yeah, what I'm doing basically, I got him there, pulled back under. Oh, he spit it out. Yeah. So we're gonna let him drop back down again, and he'll probably hit him again one more time. If not, I'm actually gonna let this guy go and get another one. I was letting the fish kind of sit down there in the bottom to see if there was anyone else in that area. Yeah, so we went for him again over there for a second. Just give yourself some slack, let your line sink down again. And now they're all getting excited, right? So they're gonna start hitting at him again. So yeah, we've come down to the other side of the dam now. We were just around the corner there. We got a couple of minnows in our bag here, and we're gonna toss them on and see if we can get some smallmouth bass out of this little hole over here. So let's see how this one works out. We got a nice little pool over here just at the end of these rapids. Toss her in there and let a minnow be a minnow. Normally what I do when I'm fishing with the minnows on like this, if you have time to relax or whatever, post that in there, put that like this, let it sit like that. Give yourself enough tension in your line. You don't want it crazy tight, you just want it tight enough to let you know when there's a fish. So this way, obviously, as it's going like that, if your line starts pulling and tugging and your rod's bending, then pick her up and pull back and set the hook. But you can basically make a makeshift rod holder from anywhere out here, whether it's sticks or rocks, anything like that. MacGyver it, do what you gotta do, set it up, get comfortable, and enjoy fishing. But I don't want to go home. Well, we tried out a couple spots down here at the dam. We were over there on the top end, came a little bit down here, tried out 2 holes. Did the best we could right now with the spinners, tried out some country bait worms, tried out some minnows. But the way I see it, I think the fish are at my house on Smoker's Corner getting ready for some brisket. So we're gonna head back home, we're gonna meet up with Daryl, and we're gonna check on the brisket and see how it's doing, and catch us again on Off the Hook. You never know where we're gonna be next. This is a nice, what was a 7-pound nice brisket from Higginson Farms. That's beautiful. As you can see, it is just sliding right through. We'll do one more cut of this here.
What harm can 3 little children possibly do?
Why what happened all those years ago? Why would she choose you, child of all people?
Some are calling it a miracle.
You have to believe.
I could smell a lie. Endorphins release an odor, and the ultimate tell, the slightest wink of an eye.
You mean like this? JJ, I admire all of your tattoos. Damn, she's good.
I did it.
I need it.
A hero gave it.
And I am alive.
As an organ donor, you can save up to 8 lives and enhance the lives of 75 others. Please go to our website. Pledge a gift of life. You'll be glad you did.
Hi, I'm Micah Denbach. Join us on Rogers TV and on Facebook and on YouTube at Clearview Community Church for all of our content. Thank you, and I hope you guys have a great day.
Hey guys, it's Jadon. We just got back from Off the Hook. We were out fishing out by the Meaford Dam, and now we decided to come back in for Smoker's Corner and meet back up with Daryl from Amici's. And how are we looking?
We're doing pretty good. So while you've been out fishing today, the brisket's been on about 7 hours now. For the first about 3.5 hours, we misted it with a little bit of water to cool that outside temperature down a little bit. Okay. Hopefully that smoke will get there in nice and deep. So now we're sitting at 205. Okay. 205 is perfect because that's when the meat proteins are nice and soft, start to break down. So it's not going to be like chewing on something tough, but it's not going to be fall apart like pulled pork. Okay. It's going to be that nice middle piece. Okay, so we're going to take it off the Traeger, throw it in the cooler, because it needs to rest. It needs to rest for like 45 minutes. All right. And then we can cut into it and see what it tastes like. Awesome. Looking forward to that part. Let's do it. You got the cooler? Yep. Okay, so now we got it in our cooler. Leave it here. Okay, we got her in our cooler, and what we do? So you're saying we're gonna wait for 45 minutes, and then wait 45 minutes, take it out, slice into it, and then we eat. Can't wait. Yep, we'll be back in 45 minutes, and we're gonna check how it goes on Smoker's Corner with this brisket. All right. So we've waited our 45 minutes, as Daryl said. It's sat in the cooler there, making sure all those juices are held in there nicely. We're gonna take off the parchment paper so you guys can see what's underneath the wrap. Oh. And that there is a nice, what was a 7-pound nice brisket from Higginson's Farms. That's beautiful. We're gonna get it turned around on this side. We're gonna pull out temp gauge 2. We had it at 205 when it was in there, but now again, we've let it sit in the cooler for 45 minutes. Strip her down. I'll get this out of the way. All right, let me get the rest of this parchment paper out. Whew, that's juicy. And it's juicy. If you love juices, we got lots of juices, that's for sure. So it's juicy. All right, clear up your area there. Woo. And then we're gonna take it from the flat end here and get ready to cut in her. There you go. Actually, I'm gonna do her this way. So we're gonna cut off first chunk right here, a nice one. Get that butt end off there. Yeah, I guess it's the smoke ring he's talking about. It's nice and smoky. And let's start cutting her. Oh yeah, oh jeez. Look at the juice on that. So saying, make your cuts about the size of a pencil going through. We're gonna keep cutting her down until we get closer to the middle. Woo! That's nice. Make sure you have a sharp knife so that you can slide right through this. As you can see, it is just sliding right through. I do one more cut of this here. Oh, nice. Put that down. I just want to get this bad boy up here, and look at that. I'm not even gonna squeeze it too hard, but I'm just gonna let you see. That's nice. And again, with the Higginson Farms briskets, not too much fat. You're getting a nice clean cut of meat, so that's awesome there. And we'll turn her this way. Make sure it doesn't slip away on you or you're gonna lose half your brisket. I'm gonna cut off this little chunk right here again. A little bit of fattiness in there, but we're gonna clear that out of the way as well. That's gonna get eaten for sure too, so. And then we'll start again with our cuts. Look at that juice. It's a little tougher. We're gonna make the cuts a little bigger, but because it's nice and juicy, we're gonna keep it at that pencil length and just keep going right through it nice and smooth. Whew. And you can just hear it. There we go. And let's see if it'll let us get it all the way right down to the last cut. Again, have a nice firm grip on your meat and on your knife as well, because you don't want nothing slipping and ending up with a finger in there. So there we go.
It's like a deck of cards. All right. So that was our episode of Off the Hook today, and thanks for joining us on Smoker's Corner, again with special guest Daryl from Amici's, and we'll catch you guys soon. So enjoy the rest of your time, and take care.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media. This is Rogers TV, Collingwood.
What kind of show do you want to see on Rogers TV? What interests you? Log on to rogerstv.com, fill out a show proposal, and tell us about your segment idea. We want to know what you want to see. Rogers TV, only on Rogers.
Blood in the urine is the most common symptom of bladder cancer. Don't ignore this warning sign, not even once.
Hey, thanks so much for joining us online. We're so honored that you'd spend some of your time with us. Hey, let's talk about solitude for a minute. Don't tune me out just yet. I can understand how difficult it might be to even hear this suggested. First off, for those of you at home with family and kids, nowhere to run, how could this even be a reality? And second, it's pandemic. Many of us are already lonely and alone. Why pour salt on the wounds? Well, solitude isn't quite being alone, and it isn't quite loneliness either. Solitude is when you are alone with God and alone in your soul. It's not isolation. Solitude is engagement with the Spirit. It's not escape. It's safety, not danger. It's anything but more loneliness. Here's a question for you. What if the antidote to spiritual malaise, boredom, and indifference is as simple as silence and solitude? To a child, love is spelled T-I-M-E. Do we ever really grow up from that? Is it really different now that we're older? We still need love and to love, and maybe it is as simple as T-I-M-E, dedicated and undistracted. What if today or tomorrow you set a time on your calendar for 5 minutes behind a locked door? It may mean you have to literally hide in your bathroom, phone off, and you just spend it in quiet. Maybe no prayer to prayer, just your spirit present before God's Spirit. Many would say that this is the most difficult and most radical of all the spiritual practices in Christianity, but oh, so necessary. Henry Nouwen said, "Without solitude, it is virtually impossible to live a spiritual life. We do not take the spiritual life seriously if we do not set aside some time to be with God and to listen to Him."
spirit till the work on earth is done. And I stand in glory, I will see His face, and there I'll serve my King forever in that holy place. So thank you, oh my Father, for giving us your Son and leaving your Spirit till the work on earth is done. Oh, thank you, oh my Father, for giving us your Son and leaving your Spirit till the work on earth is done. And leaving your Spirit till the work on earth is done.
Hi everyone, welcome to our Wednesday night service. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Natalie Bukema. I'm the Community Outreach Pastor here at Clearview Community Church. Thanks for joining us from wherever you're watching. We're so happy that you're here with us today. If this is your first time here, make sure to fill out the connection form online so we can know you better. And if you're already part of our church family, please make sure we have your updated info so we can connect. In 1988, there were a lot of things that happened in history. The first computer virus, called the internet worm, infected thousands of computers at Harvard, Princeton, Berkeley, and even NASA. The first personal communication service, or what we call a cell phone today, was released. Sega Genesis was released in Japan. The average interest rate for a home in Canada was a whopping 12%. Lunchables made their way to the shelves of all grocery stores all over North America. And one of the greatest hits in North America made its debut on the music charts. The song Don't Worry, Be Happy, written by Bobby McFerrin, would go on to reach the #1 on the US Hot 100 and win a Grammy Award for Best Pop Vocal Performance. This song was done completely a cappella, with Bobby using his body to make all of the sounds. The inspiration for this song, Bobby later told interviewers, actually came from a poster he had once seen that had a picture of a spiritual teacher named Meher Baba, and on the poster was written, "Don't worry, be happy." And while we can give credit to Bobby for writing the song, can we really give credit to Meher for coming up with this motto? Is it really that unique to him? I would argue that this motto actually came many years earlier, about 2,000 years earlier to be exact. Worrying seems to be one of those universal emotions that can be lumped in with happiness or sadness. It seems as though we all have some kind of worry in our lives. Maybe for you, you worry about the future of your job or your children's education. Maybe you're worried about staying single forever, or you're worried about buying a house, or your retirement plans, or you may even worry about what other people think of you. Whatever the situation is, we have a built-in tendency to worry. And worry usually stems from a fear of the unknown, a fear of what's going to happen in the future. Psychologist and licensed mental health counselor Alyssa Barbash said that unless your worry can tangibly help you identify solutions that you can implement to prevent a negative outcome, worry is often something that people do to feel as though they're being productive, when really they're only creating more distress for themselves. The reality is that while it's easy to sing, "Don't worry, be happy," living a life without worry seems like an impossible mission to many of us. We know that life isn't about just living in a constant state of worry. And if you're a follower of Jesus, then you know that God didn't create us to constantly live in anxiety or fear of the unknown. His plan for our lives is so much bigger than that. Jesus created us for a purpose, and worrying only deviates us from his intended purpose for our lives. The good news is that Jesus talks about this in the Bible. And today I want to unpack some of what Jesus says relating to this. We're continuing our series of sermons focusing on the teachings of Jesus found in the Gospel of Matthew, often referred to as a Sermon on the Mount. The Sermon on the Mount was the longest recorded sermon that we have from Jesus. In his sermon, Jesus described and explained what life would be like for his followers in the kingdom of God. In Matthew 6, verses 25 to 34, it says this: "Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothes? Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or stow away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Can any one of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life? And why do you worry about clothes? See how the flowers of the field grow? They do not labor or spin. Yet I tell you that not even Solomon in all his splendor was dressed like one of these. And if that's how God clothes the grass of the field, which is here today and tomorrow and thrown under fire, will he not clothe you much more, ye of little faith? So do not worry, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or what shall we wear? For the pagans run after these things, and your heavenly Father knows that you need them. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." Now we see that earlier in the chapter, Jesus had told his followers not to store up treasures on earth. And so we should take note of the placement of these next verses. He starts off in this passage with, "Therefore." And so we should read it as a continuation of the last verses he just talked about. Right on the heels of Jesus talking about our earthly possessions, he dives right into talking about worry. Now, you're probably wondering, what does that have to do with this message? For many of us today, we aren't living in poverty. We might not have everything we want or the newest gadgets or toys, but for the most part, we have adequate food and water and clothing. In this passage of scripture, Jesus uses food and drink and clothing in an attempt to teach people about worry and used examples that they would be most familiar with. One trip to the grocery store or your pantry will show us that food shortage is probably not on our list of things to worry about. The examples are not the point. In this section, Jesus is talking about material things in general. His point is that we shouldn't get tangled up in worrying about the things of this world. Our life is so much more than those things. If we want to be his disciples, we must value our heavenly treasure more than our earthly treasures. If we're going to live for God, then we don't need to fuss about our clothes or our food or our status at work or the car we drive. Jesus was teaching that we shouldn't get tangled up in the things of this world that are less important. As followers of Jesus, we should strive to grow more spiritually than materially. And while we all have bills to pay and mouths to feed and we like wearing nice clothes, the message that Jesus was trying to share meant that people had to think about their lives in the midst of the truths he was presenting. I think that many of us deep down know that worrying doesn't help us. Worrying doesn't ever change the outcome. It just creates this atmosphere of anxiousness in our lives that seems to linger around in our minds. And the truth is, a large percentage of the things we worry about never happen. Or if they do, they're not as bad as the scenario we've created in our minds. The word worry is mentioned 6 times in this one passage. Jesus knows how we are. He knew how his followers were back then, and he knows how the rest of humanity would turn out. He knows that even though we have faith in him, there are still some things that we just can't help worry about. This message is as relevant today as it was back then. Telling us not to worry wasn't Jesus' way of dismissing our feelings or brushing us off. Jesus still has a concern about the material things in our life, but he wants us to give more attention to the spiritual growth and trusting in him. I want us to really pay close attention to the scripture that Jesus talks about here. Jesus doesn't want us to completely dismiss our responsibilities as human beings. We still have work to do in our lives. The message of do not worry doesn't mean that we just sit idly by and wait for work and money and relationships and food to just come our way. There's a difference between responsibility and untrusting worry. Let's not take this passage as an excuse to not work. Verse 26 says, "Look at the birds of the air, your heavenly Father feeds them." This means that God provides for the birds, but they still have some work to do. They still have to make nests for themselves. They have to prepare for winter. They have to get food for their young. They don't leave anything to chance. Birds are not irresponsible. They get their lives in order, but they don't act out of anxiety or worry for the future. At least we have no evidence that suggests that. Verse 27 goes on and says, "Can any one of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life?" The New King James Version says, "Which of you, by worrying, can add 1 cubit to his stature?" A cubit is from the Greek word meaning a measure of length equal to a distance from the joint of your elbow to the tip of your finger. It's usually about 18 inches. Whether it's an hour to your life or a cubit to your stature, Jesus is asking a rhetorical question. Jesus' point here is that worry adds 0 value to your life. There's no benefit. In fact, worrying is one of the biggest contributors to disease and poor health. Dr. Alvarez, a stomach specialist at the Mayo Clinic, said, 80% of stomach disorders that come to us are not organic but functional. Wrong mental and spiritual attitudes throw functional disturbances into digestion. Most of our ills are caused by worry and fear, and it's by my experience that faith is more important than food in the cure of stomach ulcers. Worry and stress have been linked to heart disease, headache, and depression. Some evidence suggests that parents' chronic stress or worrying might even increase the risk of developing asthma in their children. Worrying doesn't just not add value from your own life, it also impacts those around you. Proverbs 12 tells us, "Anxiety weighs down the heart, but a kind word cheers us up." How true is this? I know when I'm worrying about something, my husband knows exactly what to say to encourage me and ease my stress. Jesus goes on and tells those listening to replace worry with a heart for the kingdom of God. The Message version of this text says that we should steep our lives in God. Don't worry about missing out. Replacing worry can be difficult for many of us. Maybe it's something that you've always done. Maybe you saw your mom or dad stress constantly about money, so now you're always stressed about money. Or maybe you had something happen to you and now it feels like a natural reaction to worry about the same thing possibly happening again. Whatever the reason for your worry, it can be difficult for many of us to stop worrying. Did you know that a habit can be only replaced or given up by another habit? I think that's what Jesus was trying to tell us here. He tells us to replace all of our worry with him. He tells us to seek his kingdom first. But for many of us, usually when we're stressed, we don't seek God. We turn to our friends or our family or the internet. We try to find our own solution instead of taking some time to spend talking to God. If we, as followers of Jesus, are caught up in worry and fear of the future, then how much different are we than our non-believing friends? If we truly believe that we have a God who will take care of our needs, then why do we stress over situations that are completely out of our control? If we're really honest with ourselves, sometimes our unsaved friends actually live and act more worry-free than we do. So where does this leave us? The number one hit, "Don't worry, be happy," is a great motto to live by. But as Christians, we need to know that the source of our happiness is from the Lord. Our happiness isn't in the things of the earth that we acquire. We learn that those things are destroyed by moth and vermin in the passage before. My challenge to you this week is that as you go throughout your day, whatever you encounter that involves worrying, and it's going to happen, and when it does, take a moment and take your worries to the Lord in prayer and just leave them there. And when they pop up in your mind again, go right back to God. This does a couple things. Not only does it ease your mind, but it will create a new habit of praying when you're stressed instead of worrying about it. Shape your worries into prayer. Then the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds. If anyone can do something about a problem, it's going to be God and not you worrying about it. Let me close in prayer. Heavenly Father, I thank you so much for everyone out there, God. I thank you that that you are there for us, that whatever our needs are, you will provide, Lord. I thank you that we have this faith in you, that we can turn to you and talk to you, and you will always be there for us, Lord. I pray for everyone out there who is struggling with anxiety or worry or fear, that you ease their minds, God, that they can turn to you and know that nothing materially of this world will ease their pain except for you, God, that they have hope in you, they have joy in you, and that they can focus their attention on you, God. I pray for everyone that goes throughout this week, that they stay safe and healthy and happy. I pray this all in Jesus' name. Amen. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.
Your blood, it speaks a better word than all the empty claims I've heard upon this earth. Speaks righteousness for me, stands in my defense. Jesus, it's your blood. And what can wash away my sin? What can make me whole again? Nothing but the blood, nothing but the blood of Jesus. What can wash us pure as snow? Welcomed as the friends of God. Nothing but the blood, nothing but your blood, King Jesus. Your cross, it testifies in grace, tells of the Father's heart that made a way for us. Now boldly we approach, not earthly confidence, it's only by your blood. And what can wash away our sin? What can make us whole again? Nothing but your blood, starts burning. Nothing matters more than just to sit here at your feet and worship you. Starts to vanish. Every hopeless situation ceases to exist. And when you walk into the room, the dead begin to rise, 'cause there's resurrection life in all you do. We love you. We'll never stop. Can't live without you, Jesus. We love you. Can't get enough. All this is for you, Jesus. Come and consume, God, all we are. We give you permission. Our hearts are yours. We want you. We want you. Come and consume, God, all we are. We give you permission. Our hearts are yours. We want you. Oh, we want you, Lord. Come and consume, God, all we are. We give you permission. Our hearts are yours. We want you. We want you, Lord. Come and consume, God, all we are. We give you permission. Our hearts are yours. We want you. We want you, Lord. We love you. We'll never stop. Can't live without you, Jesus. We love you. We can't get enough. All this is for you, Jesus. We love you. Oh, we'll never stop. We can't live without you, Jesus. And we
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
Hi, my name is Ryan McIntyre.
And I'm Shauna Jacob.
Do you guys like music?
Do you like local music?
Do you guys like bands?
Do you like local bands?
Do you guys like pudding?
Pudding.
We don't have any pudding here in Indy Collingwood, but we have bands and we have music, so tune in on Rogers.
Yeah, Rogers TV.
Rogers Television. The TV stands for television.
I think they know that.
You do now.
There are soldiers in my family. I first joined the Legion to honor their service. Now I volunteer there to be of service myself. I know my membership helps Canadian veterans get the support they need. I've personally seen it help veterans get through some pretty dark times. Many have come out stronger than ever. For a lot of them, the Legion feels like home. It's nice to be part of that. This is Rogers TV, Collingwood.
Question for you, sir. First, what is your name? Tim. Nice to meet you, Tim. You're familiar with cards? You play euchre or go fish, poker, anything like that? Okay.
Come around here.
There we go. All right. I want you to poke anyone you like. Do you have a favorite card? We'll use. Yeah. Touch one. Just touch one.
Are you going to watch?
I'll watch. I've seen this trick before. It's okay, Tim. Trust me. Which one do you want, Tim?
I'll take the.
Do you want?
I'll take the 2 hearts.
The 2 hearts. Okay, take it. This is show business. You gotta
I have to hold it.
display the card. Good job. As long as you're happy, I get a good shot of that. Wonderful. As long as you're happy, that's the only 2 of hearts in this deck. I'm not using doubles. Happy with that?
Well, I trust you.
Okay. You're trusting a magician. First time for everything.
Check every card.
Okay. I want you to watch close now. This is where the tricky stuff begins. It's going to go into the middle, so it's not on the bottom, correct? It's also not on the top. It's not even close to the top.
I can't watch you close because my ice cream is eating.
If I do this, Tim, did you see anything happen? No, it's because I'm good. I actually sneak it back on top of the deck.
Wow.
No,
That is good.
that's good, but I didn't warn you it was going to happen. So let me do it again. Now you know what to expect, okay? 52 cards, 1 ice cream cone, 1 deck, 1 card. And they all go back up to the top. Hold out your hands. I'll do this on your hands. Sleight of Tim's hand, right there. The whole deck on top.
Beautiful.
Now you come a little bit closer. I'll do this for you. Whenever I do this, there's always some smart person. Can you stand a little bit closer to me? And they say, hey, Mr. Magician, I know how you do this. I don't think you actually put it in the middle. Maybe you switch it for another card, right? But can you see that? That is the 2 with the hearts, correct?
Okay.
With your right hand, would you please push it in?
Ah, Ziff! That was good. Did you see it?
Let me make it easier for you, okay? If everyone can see this even from a distance, I'll bend it in the middle. You see that?
Look at his
Okay.
face while I look at the deck.
And it goes with the bend. 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh. Did you see it jump up? I don't even want to touch it. Would you take it and you please turn it over? There you go.
You're awesome.
Thank you. Now, you said you don't have any money on you. Could I show you, like...
I don't have money for you to do tricks with.
Fair enough. I'll use the cards, but I'll show you like, some like reverse pickpocketing. This takes 2 hands. Who wants to relinquish their cone for a second? Could you hold...
Okay.
Be the gentleman. Could you hand him your ice cream just for a second? I'm sorry to make you depart with it.
Yep.
And do you want to hand the napkins away? Sorry about that. We'll use...
better on camera than men.
Fair enough. This is the 2 with the hearts. I will put this in my pocket. I'm going to try and sneak it back on top of the deck inside your hands. Hold out your left hand, please. Curl your fingers around the deck. Put your other hand on top. I'm going to try and sneak the card from my pocket back on top. Here's round 1. Let me get the top card. Keep your hand on top. Don't let go. 2 of hearts. One more time.
Son of a gun.
In it goes.
Check your pockets.
Watch, watch, watch.
You don't have another one in there?
Could I show you a better trick, actually?
What?
Don't let go. But if I make all the cards disappear from your hands, would that be a better trick?
Yeah, I bet.
You still feel them?
Yeah.
Okay. Just takes a second.
Yeah, like that's gonna happen.
Do you feel anything? No?
Yeah, it's still there.
Take a look.
What the?
Don't swear.
Crazy. No way.
That's the carbonara effect.
There you go.
You're good.
Thank you very much.
You're very
Glad you enjoyed it.
That was cool.
Well, and now you may have your ice cream as your reward. There you go. Thank you for helping. All right, have a good afternoon.
Oh, that's yours. Thanks, you as well.
You're welcome. Would you like to see a trick? Is that okay? I can show you a trick? All right, I'm glad you like it. Let's get in the sun. Can I get 2 of you on this side, 2 of you here and here? Not all at once. Great. What's your name? Princess? Nice to meet you, Princess. Are you guys familiar with these? You ever play Go Fish, Crazy Eights, anything like that? Great. I want you to stick out a finger. Okay, better. If I mess up the trick, maybe. I'm gonna go through all the cards like this. You're gonna touch one on the back. I'm gonna hold it up. You show it to all your friends. Make sense? There's no rush. I am paid by the hour. Please touch anyone you like. Oh, this one right here? Okay, don't let me see it. Please take it. Show it to the camera first and then show it to everyone. Hold it up. I won't look, I promise. Good. Show it to all your friends. If you forget, I can show you any card, and then that's it. Make sense? Okay, could you slide it back in the middle, please? I just don't want the wind to catch any of these. Good. Push it in all the way. Excellent. Here, take a step back beside me. Now let me tell you all what's going to happen. I will snap my fingers. Her card is going to jump out of the middle of the deck. It will do a few flips in the air. I can't do it too high with the wind. I will catch it at my fingertips. When that happens, you're all gonna go nuts. I want you to scream. I want you to run around and throw like roses and money. It's gonna be great. Are you emotionally prepared for this? Okay. Count of 3. I've never done it with this much wind. 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, I totally lost it. That's okay. Your card, the Jack of...
No.
Are you guys like... Do you regularly just go around and say like, oh, let's mess with the magician? Was it the 10 of diamonds? It's a free trick. Like, don't.
I showed it to him.
Are you serious?
Ask him.
Okay. No, let me just get rid of the evidence here. Can you hold these in your hands? Can you take the pieces, squeeze tight, just so the wind won't get them? I've already screwed up. What was the look here? What was the name of your card? What was it?
Why'd you rip this one?
Because I got to get rid of the evidence. What was the name of your card?
It was number 2. It was this one.
The 2 of spades?
That's your card, man.
What?
Dude.
That's your card?
Yeah.
There we go.
Wow.
Ugh, not bad. Question for you. Oh, no. We'll make it better. Take these pieces. Squeeze them again. Squeeze them. Let's make the trick a finale. Squeeze tight. Do you know any magic words? Any like interpretive dances?
Abracadabra.
Oh, the abracadabra? A classic of contemporary culture. Okay, say the magic words, blow on the pieces. Open them up, look at them. Look at the pieces.
That's a lie.
Let them see. Let them see. There we go.
That's lies. No, that's
There you go.
You don't get paid enough.
Hey.
You like put it in your pocket?
What do you mean? Well, legally you can't check, but you can take my word for it. No. Keep that. Put it on eBay. Put that on your wall. Put it on your fridge. There's like residual pictures. Oh, thank you very much. There we go. Cool. I'm going to mix these up, all face up and face down. A big sloppy mess. At this point, I'm going to try and fix the whole deck. Okay. I'll try and put them all back into order so they're facing the same way, except for your favorite card, the Jack of Hearts?
Yes.
Jack of Hearts, okay. Don't want to mix it up with the Jack of Diamonds. Takes 1 second.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
This is a picture from Hungary. That's my father. And it's a picture from your documentary. It's the same person.
There's more here than meets the eye. There's some really good secrets.
Canadian citizen is executed in a third world country. We're not going to do a thing about it.
The federal agents, they paid for everything. I'd be very careful before I print anything about this case.
Or what?
It's about sharing and caring. It's about doing and belonging. It's about living life to its fullest. And it's about laughing out loud. We are L'Arche Canada, and we're about witnessing and sharing the gifts of all people. Learn more about us today.
Do you have a favorite card?
Yep.
What is it?
Jack of Hearts.
Jack of Hearts. We can use it for this. You pull out the Jack of Hearts, check it out. There's no mirrors, no trap doors. Look at them. They're normal cards. You can get them at any magic store. Also show it to the camera. And we'll stick it here back in the middle. Doesn't matter where. I'm going to mix these up in a little bit of a funny way. You can see yours still stays in the middle.
Okay.
You might have seen, do you have any children?
Yes.
This is their favorite way to shuffle cards. All face up and face down. A big sloppy mess.
Huge
just
mess.
like that. Nothing fancy about it. I'll show you face down, face up. Even some of them, hopefully, you get like a back-to-back one. They're a rare breed. No. Perfect. Back-to-back as well. I want you to pinch all the cards, so I'm not going to touch them. At this point, I'm going to try and fix the whole deck.
Okay.
I'll try and put them all back into order so they're facing the same way, except for your favorite card, the Jack of Hearts?
Yes.
Jack of Hearts, okay. Don't want to mix it up for the Jack of Diamonds. Takes 1 second. Did you feel a shift in the air? The pixie dust
Yes.
said, okay, well, I'm glad you're playing along. If I go through like this, I'll show you, they actually all go back into order.
Oh,
it's
wow.
that quick. They all go in very, very quickly, except for one. I don't always get it right. Your cards.
If that's the Jack of Hearts, let's see.
Bang.
Impressive.
Wow, thank you very much.
Wow.
Glad you enjoyed it. So were you just up in one of the planes?
Yeah.
Which one was it?
The Tiger Moth.
Man, that's cool. How was it?
Phenomenal. Phenomenal. Yeah.
I've never seen any of these before, and so my mind's blown just looking at them all.
Amazing.
That's cool.
It's just about as amazing as your trick.
You know what? That's what I'm aiming towards. That's the standard, and I'm working towards it. So thanks for helping.
No, thank you.
All right, see ya.
That's awesome.
I want to show you guys the world famous 3-card trick. Have you seen this before? Oh, good. Take all these. I need 3 cards. It doesn't matter what they are, but just give 3 cards face down from anywhere you like. That's 1. You give me 1 more from anywhere. You can pick one from the middle. That's number 2. That's number 3. Well done. This is the 3-card trick. Watch with my 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 cards. Sorry, I think you gave me too many. This is the 3-card trick. Put them there. We don't need them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 cards. Sorry, take that back. We don't need that many. This is the 3-card trick. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not part of the trick. Take this back. Sorry about that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Are you doing this? Maybe it's humid. They're sticking together. Take this back. Oh, good. Look. Okay, we're ready for the 3-card trick. Are you prepared? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself, because I'm not. Put those back. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. Let's start from the beginning. If I have 4 cards and I take 1, 2, 3 of them, let me give you these. If I put 3 back, how many should I have now? If there was 4 cards, put 3. Very good. That's 1. Can you give me 1 more card? How many now?
2.
Good. Last one. How many is this? Give me 1 more. How many now? 4. 3. Okay. You're scaring me already. Take these. I don't want to count them. Would you take them and here, pinch these for a second. Count them into my hand. 1.
2.
Oh.
3.
No.
4.
Fine. I give up. Hold out your hands. We'll do the 4-card trick. Hold them both out. I'll count them here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Uh-oh. No. 6, 20, 1,000. That's it. I quit. And gentlemen, that is the 3-card trick. We got too many cards. Look, push them back in. My man. Good job, boys. Good job. What are your names? Craig, and you are? Barb. Do you guys ever play cards, Go Fish, Crazy Eights, or euchre players, anything like that?
Yep.
Yes? I'm going to have you pick one of these. That's how the game works. I'm going to try and find it. If I get it right, you have to scream and throw roses and confetti, and it's... You've seen this before? No. Barb, could you please, you know how this goes, pull out any one of these. There's no rush. I'm paid by the hour. You got it?
Yep.
Show it to Craig. Also show it to the camera. You can take these. You take the rest of the deck. memorize the card, the number, and also the shape on it. Once you've done that, push it back in the middle, and you can shuffle them. Craig, if you'd like, or Barbie, you can shuffle them. I'm gonna look back now and mix them so you're happy. I don't know where it is. You picked one of these. It's a good shuffle. Done this before. Okay. I'm gonna try and find your card, but they're well mixed. I'm gonna take maybe four or five cards. I hope one of them is yours, and I'll show them to you.
Okay.
Let me see. Maybe this one. What did you have this morning for breakfast?
A muffin.
Muffin. Okay, right there. What is your shoe size?
7.
7? Oh, yeah, that'll do. And yes, these, very good. Could you hold out your hand flat? I'll give you these to hold on to. I'm gonna show you these cards one at a time. Try to keep a poker face. Don't react to them, don't scream, don't pass out, anything like that. Good?
Okay.
And did you see your card as well?
Yes, I did.
Okay, got 2 people to work with. First one's the Queen of Diamonds. You're doing very well. This is the Jack of Diamonds. Okay, good. This is the 7 of Clubs. And the last one here, this is the Jack of Clubs. I'll put these here. Was it one of these? Was it one of these guys? Was it one of these 4? Yes or no? Am I getting more? It was one of these. Okay. Maybe this one. I'll leave it here. Was it a club?
Yes.
Is it a black card? If I do that, it disappears. See, it's actually gone. It wasn't the Jack of Clubs. It wasn't the Queen, and it wasn't this. Was your card the 7? Was it the 7 of Clubs?
Yes.
All right. Let me put these here. Would you check your pocket? No, I'm not that good. It's not that. Don't worry. Could you spread through the cards? Keep them face down, but go through. I think it's actually jumped back all the way in. In your hands. The 7 of Clubs. There you go.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. We've been doing it all day. First time it worked. So thanks so much. A little bit of wholesome magic in Collingwood. That's cool. Are you guys from around here? Are you visiting? Or just... Oh, okay, great. Us too. We were just filming over at the airport today. We did some stuff with the old planes and all that. It was really cool. But now we're here in Collingwood. Thank you for watching. Thanks for your time.
That was great.
Thank you. My parents and my little sister were in a car accident, and everyone's okay. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to try something like that. We're going to recreate a car accident with playing cards.
Okay.
I'm going to need you to hit me.
I'm sorry, what?
I will put my trust.
Hi, I'm Micah Denbach. Join us on Rogers TV and on Facebook and on YouTube at Clearview Community Church for all of our content. Thank you, and I hope you guys have a great day.
When I felt lost, United Way held my back. In July 2014, I came to Canada as a refugee from the Ivory Coast with my 6-year-old daughter, who has special needs, and my 14-year-old niece. In Africa, I owned 2 grocery shops, but both were destroyed in the war. A United Way funding program taught me how to use a computer and improve my job skill. Now I am working and taking classes to get a better job. My name is Fatou, and donation to United Way Simcoe Mescoco helped change my life. Thank you.
What kind of show do you want to see on Rogers TV? What interests you? Log on to rogerstv.com, fill out a show proposal, and tell us about your segment idea. We want to know what you want to see. Rogers TV, only on Rogers.
Are you guys all together? You guys want to help? Scooch in is a little bit closer, so we're all close. Are you guys related? Are you business partners?
We're married. These are the grandchildren.
Very nice.
From
Cool.
England, just in from England.
Oh,
for a
nice.
visit.
This is good then. You're all familiar with cards, yes? Whenever I just turned 21, and people ask me, how do you learn to be a magician? Do you go to Hogwarts for it or anything? Athletes, they have their drills. The football players and musicians, they play their scales. As magicians, we have practice drills as well. And I do something which is called dead cutting. And that's where I try to learn how to lift up certain numbers of cards without having to count them, right? Because then you can use that for tricks. So when I'm watching TV, I try to lift off 2 cards, and I learn what that feels like, and then I try to pick up 3 without thinking about it. Just when you're watching TV, it's easy. So if I wanted 12, I can't feel around. I have to try and cut off what should be exactly 12. Let's see. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. Oh, okay, just like that. But no one's impressed with that. That is a.
Oh yeah, no, we wouldn't.
It gets better. No, save it till the end. Save it till the end. I'll have each of you try this. Can you try to lift off exactly 5 cards and just set them in front of you? Oh, that's, I think, not bad, not bad. Your turn, sir. Can you lift off 6 this time? 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. Go for it. Ooh, a bit heavy. An adjustment. All right. Your turn, sir. Show them up. No adjusting. Just go for it. Bam. Lift off exactly 7 cards. Bang. Good. And the last one for you. Your job is to go for 8.
8.
Got to be confident with it. That's pretty good too. Okay, so I'll stop lying to you all now. I have no interest in dead cutting whatsoever. I've never done it before. I just made it up. I got lucky when I cut 12 there. No one was more pleased than me. What I am interested in is psychological influence or manipulation or bullying. Call it what you want. I don't care how many cards you cut, but I do care where you cut to. You cut to this one. Would you turn this top card over, please? What's that? Would you turn yours over? Turn over yours. And the last one, you, sir.
I didn't do it.
Dun,
I
dun.
didn't do it. Oh!
Woohoo, indeed.
Fantastic.
There you go. This is why you don't.
Now, was that just a coincidence, or?
Yeah, 100%.
You made that happen.
I've been trying this all day. This is the first time we got it right.
Ah.
So we're so glad it did.
We're so glad we were here to do it.
Yeah, I'm glad you were here too. So you're visiting from England, you said?
Yeah.
Do you know Darren Brown then, obviously? Yeah. He's my favorite. He's really cool. Let's go. Pass these babies back. Sorry to interrupt the ice cream having.
No problem.
Cool. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
See you later then. Bye.
Carry on. Bye.
My parents and my little sister were in a car accident, and everyone's okay. It didn't matter. But my dad, when he was telling it back to me, he was telling me like the street they were on, and the name of the paramedic, and the name of the truck driver, and the make of his truck, and he was telling me all these crazy details, and I was realizing like, whenever something like a fight or flight response is induced, you pick up on everything. You can remember lots of details. So I'm going to try something like that. We're going to recreate a car accident with playing cards.
Okay.
But you didn't think you'd be seeing this today, no. And we also have insurance. Insurance is good to have. Can you put this in your pocket for later, just in case? I hope we don't need it. You always hope you don't need it. You're going to need your hands for this. You can even set it on the table. That's fine. We'll use about half of these. Okay. Let me tell you what's going to happen. We need to induce chaos. So I'm going to have you shuffle these in a very messy way, but we'll do it slowly so the camera can see. I'm going to spin them like this, and your job is you pick up, you turn over, and you push. So you pick up cards from one pile, you flip them, and you push them into the other one. It's like this. You pick them up, flip them, and push them into the other one. You can do it back and forth as many times as you like. You pick them up, flip them, and push them until you're happy they're in an order which neither of us would know. Keep doing that. There's no rush. You can like make it good, shove them in there. Okay. Take your time. Let's keep them separate just so we're not cross-contaminating. You're happy with that?
Sure.
Can you pick up all these, flip them, and also push them into the middle? Yeah, push them in, just mash them in together here. Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. Okay, let me fix these. And now is the part where we have to induce the fight or flight response.
Okay.
And I'm going to need you to hit me.
I'm sorry, what?
Open hand slap. Use your left hand, and just enough, like not to kill me, but to get the adrenaline going, okay? I've given you permission. We will not sue you. I won't. We'll see what Rogers does.
Okay.
Okay. Come on, that was, I need a little bit more. Like, get a good slap. Good. Spread them. Okay. They're 22 are face up, 11 are red, 11 are black. One more. Quick. No. Come on. Good. All of the red cards are even. All of the red cards are even. Okay. Do you remember what I told you?
Not really.
22 cards are face up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 cards are face up. I said 22 or 23?
22.
And that was 22?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Whew. 11 red, 11 black.
Okay.
So that's exactly half. We'll just count the black ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 are black. And I also said that all of the red cards are even.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go through. That's it. 10, 10, 6, almost. 4, 2, 4, 2, 8, 6, 8. That's not bad. I was correct on everything except for the 7 of hearts. Sometimes bad things happen. It's good to be prepared though for when mistakes happen.
For sure.
Which is why I gave you insurance.
Yeah.
Could you open that up? What does that say? Hold it up.
Except for the 7 of hearts.
There we go.
Not bad.
Not bad indeed. Thank you very much for helping. Hopefully we don't have to do this again anytime soon. My face can't take it. But that's good. Thanks so much for helping. Sweet. I'm glad that worked. It's my first time doing it, honest to goodness. Like, I saw the action, I thought that'd be a good idea for a trick. Yeah, thank you. All right, let's do it. So you are one of the pilots, correct?
Yeah.
This will work well because this is based off of intuition. It's going with your gut. We'll do this with just one of the colors. I want you to hold the deck.
Okay.
And all we're doing is we're looking for red cards. I want you to hold the top card, and I just want you to tell me, do you think that's a red card, yes or no? Just go with your gut. If you don't know.
Yes.
Yes? You confident? So far, so good. Okay. We'll keep it face up here.
Okay.
We're gonna do this with a couple cards. Deal them face down. If you think it's red, put it face down here. If it's not red, put it off to the side. It doesn't matter. We're just going for red cards.
Really?
You can do 2, you can do 5. There's no rush.
Yeah.
You have a 50-50 chance each time.
Yeah.
And the stakes are low. I like how you're thinking about it. Okay. Yeah, we'll put them out of the way. That's fine. Okay. This is good. Do you want to do more? It's okay. We'll check them out at the end. Also, which plane, which wing are we doing this on?
It's called a PL Diamant.
Wow.
It's a
Okay.
French home-built design.
Beautiful. It's really nice. This is tense.
Yeah.
Do you know how to shuffle? Do you know how to shuffle cards? Do you want to give them a quick mix-up?
No, I can't.
Okay. I'll mix them for you. We're gonna do this again, but we'll look for the black cards. So hold them, and just like before, if you think the top card is black, it's yes or no. Do you think that's black?
Yeah.
Okay, turn it over. Let's see how you did. You're doing good. If you think they're black, face down. If they're not, put them off to the side. We don't need them again. And you can do a couple again. It's up to you. Okay, that's good. Have you seen the movie The Prestige?
I don't think so.
Never mind. There's a cool story that goes with this.
Yeah.
It's all right. All right, happy with that? We'll get rid of the rest of these. So,
See how bad I
you
am.
thought these were the red cards
Yeah.
and these were the black cards.
Yeah.
You started with these, so usually people get better as they go along. If these are wrong, that's okay. So far, ooh, so good. That's a red one. That's red as well. Red as well. And these were the black cards. Good. Good. Good.
Oh, good.
Not bad.
I'm gonna pick the right way then.
I'm glad you're the guy flying the planes.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
Do you have something to share? Let everyone know about your next meeting, your need for volunteers, or your fundraising event on the Rogers TV Community Billboard. Send us your words and we'll bring them to life on Rogers TV and rogerstv.com. When it's time to spread the word, go to rogerstv.com to add your announcement to the Community Billboard.
This is Rogers TV.
Hey guys, it's Jadon of Off the Hook, and today we're going to be doing something a little different. We're here at Smoker's Corner, as you can see, and sometimes when you're out there enjoying some time fishing, you want to come back and enjoy a meal as well. So with Smoker's Corner today, we got our special guest, Daryl from Amici's Restaurant and Pizzeria in Meaford, Ontario, and he's going to help us out today with smoking a nice big cut of brisket from Higginson's Farm, and